So this basically is how it looks on, this is the same price action on the daily. We just took it down one time frame. And remember what we said, that what constitutes a sale? Lower highs and lower lows. So what I mean by lower highs is this area here. Price came down, bounced back up, made a lower high. This high being lower than that high, made a lower low. This low being a new low, came back down. I'm sorry, this is a higher high. This is a lower low. Lower high being that high being lower than this high, which makes it a lower high. Let me say it again. This high being lower than this high makes it a higher high. Price continued down and made a lower low. This low then this low made it a lower low. And it's the same thing in a buy where you have higher highs and higher lows. So, sorry, that, let's say it again, what constitutes a sale is making lower highs and lower lows. This high being lower than this high makes a lower high. This low is lower than this low, making it low. You have to just really study that and focus that, and after about a few months or so, that's going to start making sense to you, and you can pick out the lower highs and higher lows and higher highs and all of that stuff. It can sound really confusing, but just take it a piece at a time. So what are we looking at here? You're looking at a really nice downtrend on GJ. This is the daily. This looks really good for continuation. We are breaking lows. We broke this low. That's why I continued down, and we're pulling back. Price is probably back to this area and continue down to this area. Of course, these are my support and resistance areas that I've already drawn from the weekly, okay? What I would do now, we've already figured out what our trend is. This is our resistance area. Price came all the way up, met resistance, and started to fall. So that's our resistance area. And of course, you have other minor resistance areas in there. So once I see that, I'm on the daily, I'm like, okay, so I should be looking for sales on GJ. Let's get some trend lines in there. And this is the way that I draw my trend lines. I pretty much go to the line chart, which is up here on your MT4, this area here. You go to the line chart, and the line chart I love because it shows the closing price, okay? Whereas when you have the candles, you see all these wicks and stuff. You know that if you see, let's focus this candle right here. You see that long little bitty body? Price came all the way up here, but did not close to here. This is why we say do not make a decision based on emotion, because give price a chance to do what it's going to do. If you would have got out here, I mean, your price, it did exactly what you wanted it to do if you was looking for, you know, I don't know what you may have been looking for, but we wait for the candle to close. Whatever time frame you're on, if you're on the daily, wait for your daily candle to close. If you're on the 5-minute, you wait till your 5-minute candle closes. You always wait till the candle closes. It makes a humongous difference. I mean, while this was going on, this candle was open all the way up here. But once it closed all the way down here. So that's what I mean by the closing price. The line chart shows only the closing price. Those peaks, those sharp areas are the closing price. So I make mine according to the closing price, and then I bring the candles back. See how that works? So it looks like price has been my trend line. If you just haven't looked at GJ, you haven't been following GJ, this is what you will get. You're going to draw your trend lines and your support and resistance according to what you see, right? What price is actually doing. So our trend line is drawn like this, is what I'm trying to say. Price came down, pulled back, and it came down again, and it's pulling. So what can we expect? Like, This is beautiful. It's not like you always get a setup like this. And this is on a daily. So we're going to take it down to a smaller time frame as well. We can expect price to come up to this trend line and fall. Now, this is Forex. This is price. So it doesn't always follow the rules. Price can come up here, it can pass here, it can keep going and test this and fall. But most traders are on alert when price is going to get to this trend line because we expect it to fall. It did it here, it did it here, and it did it here. Doesn't mean it's going to do it here, but once it reaches this trend line, we're going to be on alert. Look at this. Look how price and price action just repeats itself. And if you want to do a measured move, you see how you pull back and then you got that long down move. Pull back, pretty much did the same thing and went down and did this and made the same plus or minus pips, maybe a few hundred pips. We can expect price to do the same thing. And look, it falls almost really, really close to our next support area. That's why I have my eyes on GJ. That down move is going to be great. That's over 400 and something pips. Now, of course, it's going to be some things that happen in between there. But if you stay focused and say, okay, I'm only looking for sales on GJ, then when you see your opportunity for a sale, you'll be ready. So look at this pullback. Like we see price going back to this trend line. Price is doing the exact same thing, going up to this trend line, and we should all be on alert when it reaches this trend line. Again, it may go a little higher. It may even come up to here. But because we've already established on the weekly that we're still in seller's territory, then we will be looking for sales. We will be looking for sales on GJ. Now, can price totally and all the way back up? Absolutely it can. This is why you always wait on confirmation. You don't just enter a sale just because price made it to here. You need to see a bearish engulfing candle or your trend line break strategy, whatever strategy you use to enter. That's when you incorporate all of that before you enter your trade. You need to know and anticipate what price is doing. So you need to also expect the opposite move. Again, price can go here and continue up. If price gets here and pulls back, price can continue up. And then we'll be getting into the buyer's territory. So you have to always scenarios, because just because you have this mapped out and you think you got it all together doesn't mean it's going to happen like that. So always be aware of that. And that doesn't mean that you're wrong. If you enter this sale, if you enter it here, you thought you had confirmation and price turns around and goes up here, that doesn't mean that means that you entered early. This is why we don't start with 2 and 3 standard lots. We start a little bit smaller than that, okay? Because we don't want to lose all our money. Price most likely may not go the right way when you first enter. So always, always control your risk. Just like if you got in here on this area. Price made it to here, came down and started pulling back, and then price came all the way back here. But if you entered this sale, that's why I say when you're looking at a sale, you enter as high as this way your stop loss is above your high. This is your high. So your stop loss should be here, which is about 40 pips. For 40, 50 pip stop loss versus 200 some pips that you're going to gain. That is a fabulous risk to reward. Just like if price and we're looking to sell this down, wait till price gets as high as possible. Wait on your confirmation. That way, if the trade goes against you, you don't risk that much. If it goes against you and goes up a little bit, your stop loss is above your previous high. So your gain is way more than your risk. If you do that, you buy low and you sell high. You buy as low as possible. You sell as high as possible. If you do that, that will definitely control your risk. That will control your risk. So looking at the 4 hour, we can expect price to do what? Come up to this trend line, maybe a little bit higher, turn around and give us another 200-300 pips. Possibly. That's what we're looking for. Again, always keep the scenario in your head that price can continue up. And just because if it's not a sale, it doesn't mean that it's a buy. Price could get up here, news can happen, it could spike, it could go here, it can come down here, it can decide to go into a full-blown range here. So you just have to wait and see. If you get here and sell and price comes down, it decides not to break this and go back up, your target here, wait to see what price is going to do, unless you're going to get a strong down move, just like it did here. Price came here. If your target was here, you would have got your money, you would have been taking out the trade instead of going through all of this. Like, make sure you set targets. I have a bad habit of doing that. Getting in the trade, I set my stop loss, but I don't set my target. And price goes and wicks out. If I would have had a target set, it would have took me out of trade with my money, but instead it comes back up and I lose, a fourth of my money. So make sure you have a target set. We have to get in our mind, what is your purpose? When you enter a trade, what are you doing? Are you swinging this? Are you in for the long? Are you trying to get you 400, 500, 600 pips, or are you just trading from zone to zone? If you're trading from zone to zone, then you need to make sure to have your stop loss and your take profit set. Even when you're swinging, you always protect yourself with the stop loss. Always. All things can happen, and you go to the bathroom, you come back, and half your account is gone because of stop loss. So that is the gist of support and resistance. We just want to make sure to always leave our options open. Look at the market from the buy and the sell side. Always remember where you are, whose territory are you in. If you have done your analysis and you feel like GJ is down, then if a big up move happens like this, now that it's a buy. Like, stick to your analysis. That does not mean that it's a buy. If price has to pull back, then it has to jump to get where it's going. Just like now, it's got to move to get where it's going. The price has a destination, so it has to make some leaps and bounds to get there. That doesn't mean that is the move. It's just part of the pullback. So keep studying, stay focused, stay hydrated. I know trading can be very stressful and really hard on ourselves. I know I am. But if you get to a point where you feel overwhelmed, if you get to a point where you are consistently losing money, then you need to back up. You need to take a break in account. Or don't trade at all. Just take a mental break. Because if you're really serious about trading, that means you've probably been studying a lot. You've been looking at charts. You've been marking up charts. So you're going to reach a point where you have information overload. And you have a lot of information, a lot of in your head that you don't know what to do with. And you're just kind of which way. So it's time to back up and organize that knowledge. Organize the knowledge that you have in your brain. Pick out what you need to work. If you need to master support and resistance, then you need to take some time and master support and resistance. There is no rush to Forex. Setups happen all the time. And the reality of it is, if you rush it, you're not going to do anything but keep losing. Because once you really get this, you're going to pick and choose how you get money from this market. You're going to get just tired of seeing setups. It happens. You can ask any master trader that market every day. They don't trade every pair. They don't trade every day. They wait on the setup to happen to them. And one day we will get to this point. Excuse me. I said all that to say, stay focused. Make sure you stay healthy. What are you doing in your off time? Are you spending time with your family? Rest. You have to be healthy to trade. Make sure your mind is healthy. Meditation, prayer, whatever you need to keep healthy. Um, and I really wanted to make sure I said, psychology takes a big part, a big role, plays a big role in trading. Trading is very psychological. Psychological. Sorry, guys, I'm stumbling over my words. So that's why I say make sure to keep your mind healthy. Keep your mind healthy. I have made a vow to not put in any live trades for the next 3 months. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick to that because because it's really hard for me to pass up a really good setup like this GJ. I don't know if I'll stick to that, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Right now, the only thing I'm in is NJ because I've been in NJ for several weeks now, so I'm just kind of swinging that. But that's about the only thing that I'm in. I've taken a vow to just kind of back up and just increase my knowledge. I just really want to increase my knowledge and master the psychology of buyers and sellers in the market because that's basically a lot of what it is. If you can understand what other people are doing in the market, then you can understand what moves are going to be made next. So anyway, again, I'm Adriane. You guys see me on Mike's platform. If you have any questions, please reach out. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions on what you want to talk about, let me know. But I'm pretty much for the next couple of weeks building and breaking down price action and support and resistance. They go hand in hand. So 1 week we're going to take pullbacks. We're going to just totally look at pullbacks and see the story that a pullback tells. You will be able to know, okay, is it pullback over or not? Can I jump in the trade? Okay, so we're going to talk about that. So purely price action and support and resistance, we're going to build on that because there is no rush. Again, there is no rush. You have to master this stuff. So again, let me know if you have any questions. My name is Adriane. You guys have a great night. I hope you guys understood it, and hopefully I didn't go too fast. And out to me if you have any questions, and you guys have a great night.